All right, come on into the room, Rose Resource Room. So, story time. This morning, when I started to make breakfast, I put my phone on the side and I said to my husband, "Babe, my phone is right there." And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Well, I'm telling you this because you know in 5 minutes I'm gonna be like, where's my phone? Did anyone see my phone?" And that, my friends, is what you call mommy brain. And I know it's not a medically recognized condition, but it is a real phenomenon. Like anyone who's had a child can tell you that either during pregnancy or the postpartum stage, there's just this lack of focus, this mental fog, and this forgetfulness that a lot of mothers experience. And a lot of these factors can be attributed to all these different things, whether it's hormonal fluctuations, lack of sleep, but just like the mental and emotional demands that is on you as a mom when you're taking care of a child. So there's mommy brain. I'm giving you this background because it's gonna flow. Just trust the process. Just follow me. The second thing I want to let you know is that I divide my time among home-centered education, obviously being a wife and a mom. I'm also a maternal health advocate and a child well-being advocate. And all that means is I advocate with a group of people who we come together, speak to elected officials to influence policy and make sure that whatever laws or rules are put into place not only benefit kids and not only help them to survive, but to really thrive. And then the other thing that I do in my time is I'm a productivity coach. And what that means is I work with women and moms who want to figure out how to create what they call balance, but that's what I call harmony. So it's really the idea of how do I harmonize my personal and professional life? If I'm a homeschooling mom, how do I get myself on the to-do list, that glorified to-do list? If I am a working mom, how do I make time for everything else and all the demands? Can I have it all? Is it possible? So that's what I do for that. So every now and then, as I'm doing my learning sessions with my kids, I'll check my phone and I'm like, let me quickly check my phone to see if such and such responded, to see if this client confirmed, or to see if this client wants to reschedule it, wants to hop on earlier. Or let me check my phone to see if someone from the advocacy group sent me a message. And the reason I'm checking my phone is because I don't have notifications on. So I just want to pop in really quickly to see if there's something pertinent that needs my attention. That's real quick. It's, 2 minutes. Let me just check in really quickly versus having someone wait for several hours. So before I jump into like the point of all of this, I just want to get on my soapbox and say that multitasking is a myth. I know if you're doing several things at the same time, you feel like you're being so productive because you're quote unquote accomplishing all these different things, but you're not really multitasking. All you're doing is switching back and forth really quickly from task to task. And what that means is your brain is constantly having to go from one task to another, from one task to another. And that's not really productive use of your time. So back to the mommy brain thing and back to the phone. After my boys and I made breakfast, we got to the table, we wanted to do all our learning in the living room. And when I pulled up my computer, there was a song on YouTube that we all love. So we played it and we're just like worshiping God. And then after that, I said to the youngest one, okay, you pray. And the oldest one prayed. The baby's only 11 months, so he didn't pray. And then I prayed us out. And it was just really sincere, heartfelt prayer of God, we need you. We recognize that we can do hard things because through you, all things are possible and all of that. Right. And then we left it at that. And I realized in the moment, I was just like, okay, things are going well. But I realized later that we were in such a groove and we just continued doing our thing. And it was like we're moving from one thing to the other and everything's just flowing and we're in a rhythm. And I'm like, wow, this is really good. So around 12, I said, let me run into the kitchen and make sure that, things are going well with lunch. And I picked up my phone, which I did not leave there intentionally. I just forgot. And I picked up my phone and I saw a message from Ginger, the host of Chat with Chap, from like 8:57. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been like 3 hours. And actually responded to her to tell her that I was going to be doing this recording. Um, but my point is the group that we're in, yes, it was because of our prayer. Yes, it was because of our worship. It's in the atmosphere. But the real point of me recording this is to say there is a small tweak that you can make in your day that will be a game changer. Put your phone down. Put your phone down. All these times when I'm saying to my kids, hey guys, pay attention, focus, don't be distracted. Can I be the culprit? Is it possible that I was the one who was distracted? Was I the one who needed to focus? Yes, yes, and yes. Because in my desire to do something really quickly or to check in on something really quickly, I was changing my attention. I was not as focused. Maybe they were reading something to me and I'm like, I'm sorry, can you read it again? Maybe they were in the middle of something asking me a question and I wasn't quite there, so I didn't even know what they were talking about. Perhaps one kid was doing something and they were finishing up or they were finishing, they were waiting for instructions on their next task. I mean, like so much can happen in that little small transition. But I realized that in my desire to be productive and get multiple things done at the same time, I was actually doing a disservice to the time and energy that we committed together. So I know it's super small, but I just really wanted to do this recording to share with you that our phones are such distractions. And this is nothing new, this is nothing novel, but sometimes it's the simplest reminder that convicts us where we're like, I know. And for some of us, it could be social media, for others, it could be the news. For me, it's literally just the quick text message, the quick WhatsApp message from an actual human that I know in real life that I just want to respond to really quickly. But after having those 3 hours that did not feel like 3 hours, they went by so fast, but we accomplished so much. We're just like checking things off and like marking, done, 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 done. And we were all just in the right headspace. You know, homeschooling requires such a significant amount of time and attention and focus and engagement from the child, but also from the parent. You know, using our phones when we're teaching lessons can really distract and kind of detract from the quality of the educational experience that we're trying to create. The other point is we're modeling behavior. There's so many times when we say, let's limit screens or let's not give kids with technology so much. But what are we doing? Yes, it's important. Yes, it's not playing around, but we're still modeling behavior. When you're on your phone, your kid doesn't know that you're buying them another pair of jeans because they're the knees of their jeans. Does anybody know why the knees get ripped? Like if you know, send me a message and let me know. But I digress. When you're on your phone, they don't know that maybe you're ordering grocery or that maybe you're paying a bill. They don't know what you're doing when you're doing your real quick thing, but you're still modeling behavior. And because we serve as role models, if we're frequently checking our phone during lesson, it sets a precedence that it's acceptable to be distracted during learning time. We're not saying, hey kids, I'm distracted so you can be distracted too. We're not saying that, but we're modeling it. And then when you think of like attention and engagement, teaching requires active participation from both parties. So us being on the phone just leads to decreased attention, and then it results in less effective teaching. So and it can also result in decreased engagement because when you're sitting there, or maybe you're standing at a board, however you do it, when you're there, they're engaged. You're looking at them, they're looking at you, they're writing, you're talking. But then you're on your phone and they're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? It's also missed learning opportunities. When we're distracted by our phones, it may be an opportunity missed to reinforce learning or to provide additional explanations or to confirm understanding or address, questions or concerns. Honestly, there have been times where I'll say to my child, okay, read this to me. And then I'm like, I'm sorry, can you read it again? Because I got distracted by something else. And it seems like it's just a minute or 2 minutes, but each minute is valuable and each minute is precious, which leads me to my final point about, quality time, being present and engaged during a lesson foster the stronger bond that enhances the overall home-centered education experience. So again, I know this is nothing novel. I know it's nothing new. I know it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we're recording this because I never heard this before. I know it's not that, but I really hope it was a reminder to you that we need to set the atmosphere. We're not the thermometer, we're the thermostat. So we need to set the atmosphere of learning, of engagement, of focus, putting away the distractions and modeling that. So if you feel that you have been on your phone a little bit too much, just put it away. If you're using it for like music or something, maybe you can do that on the computer or you put your phone on do not disturb. I'm not saying that you have to lock your phone away, but maybe, right? Like if you feel like that's beneficial, then do that. But I just wanted to really share that I had an amazing day. And it was one of those days where I was like, oh, now I know why I did this versus what was I thinking? It was a really good day. It was great flow. We were in a rhythm, great structure, very organized. And that was a major thing that I did differently. So major game changer, super small, super simple step, but great impact. So I just wanted to encourage you to put that phone away, give your kids the attention they deserve. And then when you're done, feel free to hop on and catch up on missed messages or just take breaks, right? If you need to do something, step away, but be fair and give the others a break too. All right. So let me know what you thought of this. If this was convicting for you, not condemning, but if it was convicting for you and you recognize that you also need to do this. All right. And then if you try it, let me know how it goes. Talk to you soon.